I did warn all of you of the brilliance that was going to come out. Now we are going to allow YB Sim to have his 20 minutes to counter, argue, agree, or disagree.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. My respected Professor Terence Gomez. And I'd like to start first by congratulating the students for organizing this, because this is a very important topic that all politicians, political parties, as well as the Malaysia is at stake. Okay, I'm very honored to be here because when I was in university, I bought Professor Terence' book. It's called Malaysian Political Economy. That was published in 1997, I believe. I bought it around 1998, 1999 when Reformasi broke after. Then we got interested in politics, then that's why I bought the book. And I read it. I literally don't understand what's going on, okay, basically. But until after I joined politics, then I started to understand what is all this political economy is all about. I'm also very grateful to students here because when I was a student like you guys, I believe that all politicians are corrupt, okay? Because I feel that, all politicians are corrupt. But recently I found it is not true, actually. Because our Prime Minister is so honest, he returned his donation back to the Saudi royal family. So who said that politicians are not all corrupt? We have a Mr. Clean here. So so I disagree with what Synthia said. So jokes aside, okay, this is political financing. Let me first by saying that I am here in full support of political financing because everyone is at stake, and we as a politician or younger generation of politician with the idealism from Malaysia, and we know that if we go through the road down the road with the current state of affairs, the laissez-faire kind of system for political financing, no matter which political parties, eventually all political parties will be, go down the road because competition for money is real. Competition for money is real. And I don't want any political parties, especially the opposition parties, to go down that road. I'm saying that most of the political opposition parties have the idealism and also the check and balance within the party itself, no matter it's within the the politician itself, or the party elders, as well as different groups like generations. Younger generations will have the idealism and etc. So there's a strong check and balance within the political party itself. So but however, we hope that there's a systemic change for so that we don't, the political parties, opposition political parties, doesn't go down the UMNO route, UMNO and Barisan Nasional route. Let me start with my first argument. Politics, from a practitioner point of view, politics needs money. Okay, let's be honest about it. And we know that what are the monies needed? Number one, let me give you an example. Recently, I went to Sarawak to help out to prepare for election there. And the candidates there are screaming to us that they don't have money and support. They tell us they have to rent. Okay, this is like 2 months before, 1 month before the Sarawak election. They need to book the long boats to ferry out the voters to polling station. And it's different from West Malaysia, where transportation is very easy. There, you need to go through all the roads, sorry, not just roads, rivers, going to the longhouses. And from one place to another remote area of a longhouse, it takes about 5 hours of traveling by boats. So you need to book those boats because before elections, all the boats will be all rented out by Barisan Nasional, if you don't rent it now. And the rental keeps rising by the day. Today it could be 100 ringgit. Tomorrow, 2 days before election, it could be 300 ringgit. But you cannot just only rent one boat. You need a lot of boats. And just renting the boats, you need to buy petrol also to run the boats. So these are real issues and real logistical issues that we have to grapple with. Another thing is that we need money to run campaigns, voters education campaigns, flags, during elections, flags, all these are money. Let me tell you, one flag right now is 5 ringgit. Together with a stick, another 3 ringgit. So, and you have to get the people to put it up and get it down. It's all cost money, alright? And you need what they call, do Chinese New Year celebrations. You need to have open house. You need to have Raya open house. When the poor come to you, you feel that obliged to give them certain amount of money. And some people say that, hey, YB, I need money for my operation. I'm sick. I have this diabetic. I need to go to hospital every week. Then you need to give money and all this. So these are this really real, because the voters are very smart now, because they will tell you that, hey, you don't give me money. The Barisan is giving this much money. So this is a real competition of our politician. And I must say that money will never be enough. So we are working with the very limited of what they call limited resources. So where does PKR funding comes from? Number one, a large chunk of money comes from our members of parliament as well as state assemblymen. On the public, let me tell you, our salary is 16,000. Okay, recently raised to 16,000. Before that was only by about 8,000 if I'm not mistaken. 16,000. So you think that is a lot of money. Let me tell you the breakdown. We have to surrender 20% of our salary, that is 3,200 to the party. Every month. And 5% to our state. So it's 25%. Then our local division, Cabang, we have to support the activities there. So about 25 to 30% of our money is already given to the party. And then there's also constituency work. We need to rent office, we need to hire staff, pay for the electricity bill, internet bills, etc. And going to weddings and funerals, etc. So a lot of money is already spent there. So actually, when we take home, there's not much left. Second thing, where the money comes from as a party is also getting funding from the members. But the members' dues are very, very small, only 2 ringgit. And a lot of things is that it's very difficult to get the money from the members, because it's 2 ringgit. Another thing is that it's very difficult to reach them. Okay, they give you the address, but they change the address, or when you ask them to pay the 2 ringgit, they won't pay up. So these are the things that is going on. And then the third thing is by donation. Okay, so we are trying to get some donation, especially now we feel that we want to learn from the American. That is all it's called small sum donation, micro donation. So let me advertise a bit. If you feel strongly for a cause, please donate to our rm26.my. We only try to collect 26 ringgit from political supporters every month so that we can survive the party. So to say that this is very different from Barisan National, which Professor Terence has already said. There are very huge, very close relationship between the big corporations and the politician and political party. The nexus between the corporations and the political party is really real. And you can see that now heavily involved is 1MDB. And then you can also know that there's this, very familiar cases such as this Sharizat's NFC, and then also this, we also heard our deputy Prime Minister has, own brother has companies that, deal with these foreign labours. We heard all kinds of things. So to this is really worrying, and it's not, for us, it's really like a Goliath against this, what do you call, David, you know. We are just so small, and these giants going up against us. So that's why a lot of opposition parties are very, you know, we feel that, you know, we want to support the idealism of political reform, but the political reality is that we are too small. Okay, we cannot compete with the what do you call the big this UMNO Barisan Nasional, which is so big and so powerful with slush funds. These are the things that we absolutely don't have. Okay, absolutely don't have slush fund or whatever. Every day we are struggling with money. Let me tell you the reality of PKR. Every meeting, management meeting, we will discuss how to pay our staff. That's the reality of it. Okay, sometimes we have to come up with our own money to pay our staff. You know, we have a management meeting. At the end of the management meeting, there's no money already, so we have to come up with our own money. That's the reality. So this is very different from the public perception that, you know, political parties are very rich and etc. Okay, so campaign finance reform. What do we do? Professor Gomez has what do you call, presented this proposal. I totally support. Because why? To us, political finance reform benefits us, benefits the opposition, and it's real. We need money. And then if we have a transparent way to have you know, this reform, it will level the playing field. It will make the things very fair for us. And we need that. That's why you asked me, I fully support, because we know how difficult it is. But however, at this point, if you think that the Malaysian government or the UMNO Barisan is sincere to set up the political finance reform, the bipartisan initiative that he mentioned about it, I don't think he's sincere. Absolutely not sincere. He just wants to score political points that, hey, you open up your book, I open up my book. That's not true. Because that is, we know, we can see through his what do you call, hypocrisy. You know, that is not true. You see what happened with the way that he, how he, you know, sacked the former AG, and the institution undermined the investigation against this one MDB. So to us, is that they are just talk and they will never do talk, they never do the work. So that's why I want to come to my third point. How do we do that? I think we need to have a strong, if you expect the government to do something, it's not going to happen. So I think for the only way to make it happen, political finance reforms to happen, is the opposition take over the government. Because why? If we win the government, we are still competing with a huge giant with lots of money, and we are not going to win like 60–70% of the seats. We're going to win by 5–10 seats, maybe possibly 5 or maybe 5 seats. So to us, our best benefit is to reform it, because we are still it's still not a fair or level playing field. So to us, we need to solve the money politics that is going on. So my proposal is that we need to have, looking down what is going on, presented by Professor Terence Gomez. If we continue the laissez-faire kind of political finance, have this corporation donation into political parties, it's going to corrupt every party. So it's better don't go that route. There are models out there that can help solve this problem. Number one is German model. German state finance the political parties and political activities, and also campaign. So what we have learned is that the German government actually give political parties money to spend on political activities, political education, campaigning, and also free TV on air to, for campaigns. So in that sense, it's very fair. Opposition party get this much of 5 minutes of airtime. Government also get 5 minutes of airtime. The money is the money that they get is, let's say if you win more than 5% of the popular votes, you are qualified to get state funding. And every vote you get is you get about €5 per year. So political parties will work very hard to win as much as votes, and then every year they will get this money, and then they spend their money organizing activities, voters education, campaigns, do Chinese New Year open house, whatever that they want. Alright? So from there, it is very public funded. Alright? And then it's all accountable, can be audited. If the society, if Malaysia want to, and I strongly urge Malaysian societies as well as public to support this kind of state-funded political activities, because it is your best interest. You don't want big corporations to donate to politicians and say, hey, let's change this policy. You don't want the big corporations to influence the politicians, because ultimately the public will be at loss. What we need is that if, let's say, the state or the government fund political parties and political activities, then the politician will not be influenced by all these big corporations and businesses. Keep the politician clean, because then we don't have this political business nexus. And we can see that substantially there are some very positive things going on in German. Political parties, political finance is very good. And now Taiwan, I recently went to Taiwan and looked at their political, their campaign, also funded by the government. So in that sense, government and these political parties become clean and less corrupted. And final thing I want to say is, we need the Malaysians to rethink this, and we know that a lot of politicians, younger generation politicians, have this idealism to reform, and we want your support, and we hope that we can together. I've talked about this in Parliament of political finance reform, state-funded model for political activities and political parties. And I also proposed to the state government in Penang and in Selangor. However, because the general public will see that, hey, what lah, you want government money for political activities, cannot. That's why eventually now there's no popular support for this kind of reform or initiative. And the state government, maybe the chief minister and the exco, and the Menteri Besar will feel that, hey, no lah, we cannot give money for the political parties. It's very sensitive. That's why all these things will never happen. So if we continue this old route of laissez-faire politics, I'm also worried that opposition party will also be influenced and corrupted. So my hope is that hopefully tonight we all here can have support the German model. State-funded political activities and political parties to clean up politics in Malaysia. Thank you very much.
Thank you, YB Sim. Okay, now we have 5 minutes each to counter-argue. Professor Terence Gomez, you would start your counter-arguments and proposals.